Good morning, Twin Cities. Welcome to Reckoning with Real Estate, a show about the American dream and building a better real estate company. I'm Paige Kale with the Real Estate Collaborative. You can find us at therecolab.com. That's THERE. Collab is short for collaborative.com. And today we're going to be talking about a sustainable holiday. The holidays are coming in hot and fast, and we are joined by our very own Taylor Hall, who is also with the Real Estate Collaborative. And today she's going to be here talking in her capacity as the owner of Evergreen Collective, a great little store on Grand Avenue at Lexington. It's a refill store, no waste shop. It is cute as a little bug in a rug. It's a very fun place to visit and shop, and you can feel good about what you buy. So we're going to talk about a sustainable holiday, and I will let kind of the question that we're going to try to answer is, what if holidays could feel meaningful, more joyful, and low stress? And I am here for it because you can ask my kids, so stressed during the holidays. So this topic is going to be great. And we're going to talk. The first question I'm going to ask you, Taylor, is the American dream and how that ties into holidays and how we perceive holidays. And I'm going to let you answer that question, and then we will dig in.
Yeah. So holidays in the American dream, I think, are very interesting. And first of all, I was raised in a very small town. I was raised Christian.
Yeah.
So Christmas is my holiday that we celebrate. And for me, it's all about getting together with family.
Mm-hmm.
And I think one thing that's very interesting at my point in life, and especially since COVID happened, is that has kind of been, like, it's so different now than what it used to be.
Yeah.
I'm at the point in my life where older traditions are kind of falling back. My grandma doesn't live in her house anymore, so holidays are moving to my mom's, or even I've hosted, or my sister's hosted, with less extended family, but more of our immediate new extended family with the addition of my niece.
Yeah.
So I think right now the American dream is kind of rebuilding those traditions.
Yeah.
For me, not everybody is super big on traditions. I find them very comforting.
Yeah. I do too. I find traditions very comforting as well. And my kids are older, in their 20s, but I did think about traditions during the holidays. I will admit that for me, holidays tended to be about family, but boy, do I love a good gift.
Yeah,
I mean, truly. And what I love mostly about the gift is I love the wrapping paper and the ribbon and the presentation, and I love seeing them all together. And the opening of them makes me crazy because you can ask my kids this too. I run around like a crazy person getting all the wrapping paper and figuring out what I can reuse, what needs to be thrown away, what needs to be recycled. And I don't really enjoy the active opening of presents. It's strange.
Yeah.
I could wrap gifts all day long though.
I love that. I feel like you are a good gift giver.
Oh, well,
I get that impression from you that you're very thoughtful.
Yeah, I like to think so.
But I also really do love gifts. I don't do this anymore, but when I was in high school, up until then, I would be the first one to wake up at like 5 a.m. on Christmas morning.
Yeah.
And I'd annoy the heck out of my family.
Yeah.
Because I'd just be up and I'd be like, okay, I'm going to have some hot cocoa and just wait for everybody else to wake up.
Yeah. So that was part of your tradition.
That was part of my traditions. And I don't do that anymore because I got made fun of for it a little too much.
Oh, I wouldn't make fun of you. I think you should do that this year.
Thank you.
Surprise your partner Sam and just say, just do it. Don't even give me a heads up. Just
wake him up really early.
Yeah, or just let him wake up on his own, and you just be sitting in your living room on your uncomfortable sofa.
Yeah.
My understanding, it's an uncomfortable sofa, drinking your hot cocoa in your pajamas and a blanket wrapped around you, and see what he does.
I could do that.
Yeah. Maybe
Yeah.
take a video of it. That would be
Yeah.
fun.
Oh, that'd be funny. Why are you awake?
Yeah. But yeah. So how do we create a holiday situation that feels more meaningful, joyful, and less stress? And I think for me, growing up, I think about the movies that we watch at Christmas time, like It's a Wonderful Life. What are some other ones that you think of? The holiday movies. Elf is one we watch
Oh,
every
yeah. I really
year.
like White Christmas.
Okay, White Christmas. I don't even know if
Yeah.
I've ever seen that, but like I feel like when Christmas is depicted in movies, it's all like magical and snow and laughter and gaiety and joy. And my experience is it's chaos. It
Mm-hmm.
is just sheer chaos, brought on partly by ourselves, I think. And
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Well, and I think both of us being like women, we have that like societal expectation
yeah.
to like do it all.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So how are we going to make holidays less stressful this year? You're here to tell us.
Yeah. Well, maybe just discover it with you.
Yeah, yeah. No, I need the formula, Taylor,
Yeah.
please.
I mean, I really think like we can overcomplicate it with the gifts. And I know as we were talking about how we both really like that part of Christmas, I think that's one part that can be the most overwhelming. Like
Yeah.
that and the food and making all the food.
Yes.
But I'm not really a chef, so I can't talk about that too much.
I can speak to that in a little
Yeah,
bit, but
yeah,
I'll make a note to talk about preparation of food because I have lots of thoughts about that.
yeah. And just like one thing that where we try to do is me and my partner are really trying to simplify the gifting process. And so we kind of talk about it ahead of time. We do a lot of we kind of started a tradition of we do game boards. We each get a new game from each other every year.
Oh, that's
So we're
fun.
trying to like do that experience.
Yeah.
I try to do smaller gifts for my family. Growing up, my mom did kind of go overboard with
Yeah.
the gifts, very generously.
That impulse is real as a parent. I'm here to
Yeah,
say.
yeah. And I'm also very lucky because my sister, she doesn't want a lot of gifts for her kid, so I get to be really picky and selective and not do a lot.
Yeah.
And I think we think about it so much. And as a shop owner, I see people rushing in. Like the week before Christmas is my busiest week of the year because
Yeah.
everybody's doing their last minute gifting, me included. I do
Right.
everything last minute because partially I run Evergreen Collective and I'm busy
Yeah.
that time of year.
Do your people get a lot of gifts from you from your store? I would think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or we get a lot of like new people that come in to do gifts. And that's one thing that I love about the shop is that I don't really necessarily bring in a lot of extra things.
Yeah.
So this is kind of transitioning to like being more intentional about gifting is when people shop at Evergreen for gifts, it's very practical.
Yeah.
Very practical gifts.
Well, why don't you tell us a little bit about the gifts you have? I know you wrote some of them out for me, but that's not helpful to our listeners. So why don't you just tell us some of the things that they can find?
Yeah, one of my favorite new things that we've always had, but I got a different brand this year. They're really beautiful. Are these olive wood mixing spoons and like spatulas, and they're like handcrafted in the US. That's one of my favorites. My absolute favorite gift that I encourage everybody, if you don't have it, it's literally life changing. Are these? They're so dumb. They're silicone food huggers. So like if you only eat like half an onion or like half a tomato, it's a round silicone. It also fits on like a can.
Yeah, I use those and they are great.
Yeah, I love them. And I really love the holidays at Evergreen because it's like the sneakiest way to bring sustainability into people's worlds who might otherwise not be interested in it.
Right.
And I think those little things are a very basic way to like start introducing it.
Well, and one thing I love about your store too, and I would say this with all the stores that I love and I frequent, they have a good mix of price points.
Yeah.
So you have more inexpensive things and then more expensive things. And I really appreciate that when I go into a store to shop for people. And my favorite product that you sell, and you know this, and I've probably mentioned it on a previous
Oh,
show
yeah.
because I'm relatively obsessed with it, are the toothpaste pills
Yep.
that are really called toothpaste tablets. But I like calling them toothpaste pills. And they're just little things that you chew, and they're very minty and fresh and good for your teeth. And they foam up, and they're really quite lovely, and you don't have to deal with messy toothpaste that, it gets all on the top, and it's goopy, and it's yucky, and they are lovely, and you can put them in a cute little jar.
Yes.
Which is fun.
Yes.
Yeah. So you have a ton of stuff. You have vintage treasures that you
source all year round, but
the
holidays are kind of when people really gravitate towards those pieces because they're so fun. I mean, we really just want to make it easy because the holidays are so stressful. I love helping people find gifts too. So if you come in and give me an idea of what the person's personality is, if you really have no idea, I can probably help you pick out one or two things, and and you can be done with it.
And I like too that, like, I always find that the people in my life of the male variety are kind of hard to shop for. But in your store, I feel like there's something for everyone.
Yeah.
Male, female, in between, just
younger,
people,
old.
young, old. Yeah, which I really appreciate too. And lots of good stocking stuffers.
Yeah, I love, once again, practical things that people will use. So like toothbrushes or Swedish dishcloths or
Swedish
a solid
dishcloths,
bar of soap.
Favorite, the Swedish dishcloth.
They're so good.
I discovered them recently, and boy, I'm hooked.
Yeah.
Yeah, never will go back to a regular icky sponge.
Yeah, and they don't smell bad.
They don't smell bad, and they last. The one I have has lasted for several months, and I'm still using it. It's starting to get a rip in it, but I'm going to keep using it until it's good and dead. And where can people find you again? And you do mail order too. You do the shipping.
You can shop online. Our website is www.ecoevergreen.co. That's .co. So www.ecoevergreen.co. And our store is located on the corner of Grand Avenue and Lexington in St. Paul.
Yes. So you can grab a bite to eat at the Lexington, the iconic Lexington restaurant. Hop on over to Taylor's shop, Evergreen Collective. And of course, there are a ton of other shops right around you. It's a really great. It's kind of a one-stop shop. Grand Avenue. You can find whatever you need on Grand Avenue, which is awesome. I have officially broken the paperclip. I always have to have a fidget, and I think the holidays are so stressful that I just broke the paperclip.
Oh
no! But we're going to head into break, and you are listening to Reckoning with Real Estate. I'm Paige Kale with Taylor Hall, and we will be back in a few minutes.
Oh, what a sight, breaking balls inside, bringing down the light. Every swing you take,
Welcome back to Reckoning with Real Estate. You are here with Paige and Taylor of the Real Estate Collaborative, and we're going to continue talking about Evergreen Collective, Taylor's store on Grand Avenue, and how to make the holidays less stressful.
Yeah.
And before we went on break, I shared with you all that I broke a paper clip. It was my fidget, and holidays are super stressful for me, and I think that's why I broke the paper clip. And I'm just going to keep breaking it into smaller and smaller pieces as we go through this second half. So a sustainable holiday. How do we make holidays more meaningful, joyful, and lower stress? We talked about gifts and food prep being kind of the two things that tend to be the most stressful.
Yeah, I think they can be the most overwhelming.
Yeah.
And I mentioned this before, I think as women, like, we're the ones that kind of bear the brunt of that responsibility too. So one way to make it less stressful is for the non-women in our lives to help. I'm not saying my partner doesn't help. I'm just saying it's kind of a statistic.
I think that is true, that we're kind of, it's a societal thing that we're raised to think that the female person in the relationship or in the household should be the one that does all the things.
Yeah.
And that's been my experience too. And
growing up, that was my experience.
yeah, it's been my experience beyond growing up, and delegation is certainly a thing, but even that takes work, right? Delegating takes a lot of work, and there's so much planning that goes into the holidays. You had mentioned that you're not a food prepper person. You don't do a lot of cooking.
No, and when we do it at the holidays, and one way to make it less stressful is we do the same food every year.
Yeah.
Like
so you just know, you don't have to plan different meals. You know what the meal's going to be.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true. I have found, I'll speak to Thanksgiving, and I have a small family. I don't have a lot of extended family here in Minnesota, and my immediate family here in Minnesota is smaller. And the amount of food that I have made for Thanksgiving, it's hard to cook for just 5 or 6, Thanksgiving at least, I find. I did start cooking turkey breasts instead of buying the whole bird.
Okay.
Which that was pretty great and very, very good. So that's one thought. But this year, and every year I ask my family, I'm like, can we just go to a restaurant? Can we just go to a restaurant and be served, and then we can go for a long walk and play games, and we can enjoy each other's company, and I won't be so stressed. And so, like,
we've actually been doing that with my mom.
Have you, for Thanksgiving?
We did that one year for Thanksgiving and one year for Easter.
Yeah, and where did you go?
I don't remember. One was in Rochester when my grandma was in Zimbrota, and then one was out near Plymouth.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So this year I just told my family, I didn't even ask the question. I just said, here's what we're doing for Thanksgiving. We are going to the Lexington restaurant.
Fun.
On Grand Avenue at Lexington, right by your store.
Yeah.
And I think that's a thing that people do because they get booked out super, super quickly. And so we're going to do that. And now when I go grocery shopping and I see all the turkeys, oh my gosh, it brings me such joy. I'm like, ooh, I don't have to buy that.
Yeah.
Yay. I don't even have to think about it. And then you spend so much money, and I like to change things up. Like you were saying, having the same things every Thanksgiving. And I think that brings people comfort, and it's a tradition.
Yep.
I'm always mixing things up, which kind of drives my family crazy.
That's my dad's side. They're always doing different things.
Really?
Yeah. They're foodies.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So they want to try out new recipes
Yeah.
and all of that. Yeah. Well, what else can make the holidays less stressful? We talked about being more intentional about the gifts that you do buy, and maybe not buying so many things. I always think a gift should be something that the person maybe wouldn't otherwise buy for themselves, and maybe a little bit of your, energy, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Last Christmas, I asked for a very specific
Taylor just
gift.
got a really excited look on her face.
did.
For those of you who are just listening, very excited.
This might have been the best gift that I've ever been given.
Yeah.
My mom bought me a package to get my car professionally cleaned.
Oh, yeah, I remember you mentioned that.
It was perfect because I was selling it to Paige's daughter. So it needed to be really thoroughly cleaned.
And it was very clean.
But either way, even if I would have kept it, it would have been just like those experiences that like save time and energy. Like, like it doesn't always have to be a physical gift.
Right. It doesn't.
My partner loves consumables, so he loves getting like a bottle of whiskey.
Yeah.
Those are great gifts, and then they don't take up space in your home either, so it's like less stuff to deal with. I'm apparently I have lots of thoughts on gifts.
Yeah. No, I think this is good. Hopefully we're giving listeners some ideas that they can take and run with and incorporate into their holiday tradition, whether it's Christmas or Kwanzaa or what's the Jewish holiday? I'm blanking on it right now. Hanukkah. Okay. So whatever your tradition is, hopefully we're giving you some good ideas. And one thing we were talking about during break is we were going to kind of give a teaser for an upcoming episode, and let's just do that now because I'm talking about it now, is Bigger Always the American Dream. That's an upcoming episode, again with Taylor and I. But Taylor had some thoughts on how to kind of tie that into what we're talking about now.
Yeah, I'm really excited for that conversation. But I think it really ties into the holidays, and are like having big holidays. Like, is that really like the American dream? I mean, I really love spending time with my family. And like I said, we don't really do the big family holidays with the extended family anymore.
Yeah.
But like, I had a thought. With the big holidays, you need a bigger home and a space to host it. And in the next episode, we're kind of talking about is a big home what we all want, what we all need.
Mm-hmm.
And then it also just the idea of like all of the gifts that people give, like all the new toys that kids give every year or get every year.
Yeah.
You need a place to store that. And so when we're thinking about the holidays and the gift giving and the hosting, it all bleeds into that American dream of wanting the big home.
Right.
And is that what we all want? I think breaking that down and dissecting it and being really thoughtful about it, because a bigger home, we will talk about this in the next episode, in the future episode as well, comes with so much added expense. And how can we really, in this economy, like keep the holidays affordable and our lives a little bit more affordable?
Yeah, and it's funny, as you were talking, I was thinking about, we've had at least 2 clients, maybe 3 clients this year who are younger, like either my age or your age, that have decided they don't want the big home and they want to sell their big home and move into something smaller.
Yeah.
And one of the clients that I'm thinking of, they have 2 teenage kids, and they soon will be, going off to college, presumably. But, there is, I think people are being more thoughtful about their space and what we really need versus what we want versus, what the American dream maybe tells us that we should want. Those conversations tend to be happening more. And also just around gifts and overconsumption, which I think is kind of what we're talking about.
That is the word.
There are so many people and families and households that, don't have the resources for gift giving, gift buying, and, to also just, and I know a lot of us do and are very mindful and practical about it, but thinking about ways that you can donate either your time or donate gifts to different organizations, or, it's a time often that people have maybe more time off to volunteer. And I'm a big, and I think it's one reason we started the Real Estate Collaborative, is not only how do you give back to your community in a meaningful way, but how do you really actively participate, not just during the holidays, but kind of year round, in doing good. And we're certainly not going to change the world. We're not going to change real estate.
But we can poke holes at the systems.
But we can, yes, I love that. We can poke holes in the systems and maybe do things differently where people want to join along and do things differently with us and just think about real estate in a different way, I guess.
I have a quick thought. This is a little bit of a plug for our upcoming holiday season at Evergreen Collective, but we started this last year. I actually started the idea after the election last year, and just like the heaviness that we felt the next day, I decided to donate 10% of sales. And then that was, the day after Election Day. And then we did it again for Black Friday. So instead of doing Black Friday, we did Give Back Friday.
Oh.
And so we're going to be doing that again this year on the day after Thanksgiving. We're going to donate 10% to a local nonprofit. I haven't decided yet. This is always the hardest part is deciding, because there's so many wonderful nonprofits in the Twin Cities, but instead of doing a big sale, and we're gonna give back to the community a little bit.
I love that. I love that. So this will be the second year that you've done this.
Mm-hmm.
So last year, who was the nonprofit that you donated to? Do you remember?
I think it was the Good Acre. We worked with the Good Acre a lot last year.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we've partnered with a lot of different nonprofits in the past year. We also do a give back section of our rewards program where people have the chance to donate their rewards points. So over the summer, we donated over $400 to Frogtown Green.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, and so if listeners are anything like me, and I'm guessing like Taylor, I mean, I stay away from Black Friday. Like, you could not pay me enough money to go to the mall or to any of those big box stores.
Nope.
So if you're looking to do a little pre-holiday shopping, get a jump on your shopping on Friday, you can go to Evergreen Collective and buy some holiday gifts, and also do
some practical gifts that
practical
we'll use.
gifts, and do some good in the community while you do that. So you have been listening to Reckoning with Real Estate. We've done a little bit of a different show today, talking about Evergreen Collective, but we hope you've enjoyed it, and we will see you next Sunday. Have a good week, everyone.